Still waiting for that call. Hey guys, welcome back. If you did watch my previous video, which was actually on the new version 1.6, the software update for the GoPro Hero 6, thank you very much. It actually did quite well. I was quite shocked that we'd get over 1,000 views, and we were at currently 2,000 something views, so thanks very much. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get straight into this. You've got low, medium and high sharpness in your Protune settings on your GoPro, and it does get a little bit complicated when you look at Protune, especially when you're not a photographer or videographer as such. So I'm going to try and simplify this for you and kind of show you what the difference is. The findings that I actually got was a little bit weird. Unfortunately, I cannot say what version 1.51 or the GoPro Hero 5 does, because I currently have the Hero 6 and I'm currently on version 1.6. So if you do have a test out there, or you are willing to test this, please send me the link. I'd love to watch it, what it does on a Hero 5 or even a Hero 4. So I'm going to quickly show you what I found with low, medium and high, and which one you should use. So let's check it out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is, I've done two tests. I've got it stationary, the camera, and then I also have one where the GoPro is actually on a gimbal and it's moving. So here's your first one. Everything was filmed at 2.7K 50 frames per second. Nothing else was changed, all the Protune was identical, ISO, etc. Right, so on the left hand side you have low, on the right hand side you have high, and slap in the middle you have medium. Now, I didn't put the lines in here for obvious reasons, which I'm going to put in later so you can see the dividing lines. But you cannot actually see the difference on the grass or in the distance. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to quickly zoom this in a little bit. And exactly the same. The screen's pretty much split into thirds if you want to try and guesstimate where the lines would be. Like I said, I'll put the lines in now. So from here you can't really see that there's much of a difference. If you want to pause the video and go and have a look, you can. I do a freeze frame later for you. So here you have the lines. This is really zoomed in, and now you can actually see that the high almost looks better than the medium, which ideally it shouldn't. It should look overgrained, and the low actually looks pretty good too. Very odd. So this is in the trees above. So I wanted to get a little bit more detail where you get some chromatic aberration, and as you can see, the high once again starts to look a bit better. It's almost unnoticeable. I wouldn't say that this is going to change your life, whether you use low, medium or high. Right, now this is a moving sharpness test. So on a gimbal, setting same 2.7K 50 frames per second. So let's take a look. On the left hand side low, middle medium, right hand side high. So I wanted to see that if it moved, that the grass wouldn't look funny with the high, because sometimes it does that, or the detail in the trees. Obviously the sun bleeds through here and there. So what I'm going to do is, this is zoomed in, it's the exact same clip, but this is now zoomed in. And I'm going to do a freeze frame here for you. So left hand side low, middle, medium, high. Now if you look on the tree on the left hand side here with this freeze frame, you can actually see the shadow detail where the light hits that grey tree, and there is no real difference. On the right hand side, on the top right where it splits from medium to high, there's a balcony, and the high actually looks a little bit more refined and a little bit better, to say. So it is pretty difficult to assume which one is which. To be quite honest, I was a bit shocked when I saw this. I assumed, being a photographer and doing video work and working with Lightroom and Photoshop and Final Cut, I assumed that the low was going to be, pretty bad. In terms of, not bad as in, that you would have to apply so much sharpness and post-production. And the medium would be the ideal setting for the average consumer, and the high would just be, maybe you had a very bad area and you actually wanted to add some sharpness to it. So basically what I found, and this would be my recommendation for anyone that has a GoPro and is going to use these different types of sharpness, my recommendation would be this. If you are the average consumer and you are just videoing stuff and you put it on your phone and you're using the quick app, or you may be just using iMovie or something similar, I would suggest film it on high, get the best footage you can straight out of the GoPro, because you're not going to do any post-production work. I don't know if this is specifically linked to version 1.6, to the new software update, that there is almost a zero difference between the three footages. If there is a difference, to me the high looks a little bit cleaner, which ideally it shouldn't because it's got too much sharpness. On the other side of the spectrum is if you are someone that likes to use a lot of post-production and use plugins like Neat and various other ones, my recommendation would probably be using medium. My guess would be that your high sharpness is going to look pretty bad if you've got it on a Karma and your angle is pretty far zoomed out and you've got a lot of trees and a lot of detail. I think the high might look a little bit over sharpened, almost like the DJI Mavic Pro does. And at night you're probably going to pick this up a little bit more. Your grain is going to get a little bit worse on high. It's not a bad thing. I mean, the majority of people viewing things nowadays is viewed on cell phones, and I mean, if you're going to push that sharpness up, it's actually going to look great. So I hope that helps you guys, and I hope the footage that you've seen really changes your mind on low, medium and high, because I've read tons of reviews and people were telling, film it on low, do a lot in post-production. And when I did this test, I was quite shocked that high, to me, it looks better. It's so small, the difference. And I mean, your footage is not essentially raw, so it's not like you can do so much with it. Thanks for watching. I do have a couple of cinematics coming up. Unfortunately, they are not uploaded yet. I do apologize. The reason being is it's not my fault. Unfortunately, Apple's Final Cut Pro X has not got support for the GoPro Hero 6 or even their new iPhone 8. So you can't do, I've filmed so much stuff in 100 frames or 120 frames per second if it's Power NTSC, and unfortunately Apple's Final Cut can't do it. I can do it in iMovie, but unfortunately I can't color grade like I want to and use the LUTs that I have. So keep an eye out. As soon as Apple stuff launches, I'm probably going to sit for a couple of hours, maybe 24 that night, and get as much footage out and cinematics that you guys can see. So thanks for watching. I really hope this helped, and I will chat to you guys soon. Have an awesome day.